And joining me is one of Nigeria's greatest mathematicians, greatest leaders, encyclopedia, and so on and so forth. Okay, that is a record. Dr. Victor OMOLOLU SOWEMIMO OLUNLOYO. This is incredible. Oh, that is, you emerged a candidate of the MPN and you were able to defeat the Cicero officer. Okay.
In the party, when I joined, espionage, sabotage, and general security. The person we wanted, there were other candidates. If they had chosen other candidates, they would have defeated us. A candidate that had no birth, as we say, to his name. Bolage had more or less overrun Akinjide in the first term. Akinjide was even so impatient as to walk out of a television debate. All those free primary education people brought up by Awolowo were armed robbers. And he literally walked out of the station. The MPN at par. And we didn't want them to choose anybody else who had no stain, as Bolage had. He insulted the Ibadan people and said something to the effect that this was regarded as an insult. He was a lucky person to go to school in Ibadan, and he thrived in Ibadan. So there was a joke one day when the Jack and so we said, Jakande, you are an action man. You won't understand the vocabulary we are going to use. So stay clear of fire. He said something. I said, look, you people are using Awolowo's image. You are all fond of using Awolowo's image. You have no image of yourself. I'm coming as OLUNLOYO. Like Sagos, the OLUNLOYO of OLUNLOYOs. So the thing is that I'm not going to be annoyed. I'm not going to be frightened. to a dustbin behind the water corporation. That secretary will collect the exco memos. They would send it to a driver to Arishekola's house or the other man, Momodu. So
Adelakun.
everything, yes, Adelakun. We saw all their plans. We did the same thing with MPP. This man who is now Yotun Balogun that's what do you call his name?
Otumba.
Senator Lekan Balogun.
Lekan Balogun, okay.
We also took we spied on all of them. When the election was done, they printed papers which they were not to print. They printed Form EC8, EC8A, but the man printing, the government printer let us know, I'm an woman, like Obasanjo. The Owu people in Ibadan, OLUNLOYO, Ajobo. The government printer was an old woman.
Oh,
and
wow.
So we got everything they printed within an hour. And we made alterations. We made the government printer to help us make alterations in those papers. Results, alterations were made in them. So all these things were done as preparation. When the Babalaki Commission of Inquiry was held, part of it was held in Ibadan, and the remaining part was held at Ilorin. All those papers which Bolagi printed for his own election, he never printed anything for Awolowo to boost his election. We visited 262 towns and villages. There were two places that Bolagi could not visit. He could not visit Ogbomoso, and he could not visit Modakeke. Because at Ogbomoso, Awolowo had visited Ogbomoso and had a very nasty in front of Akintola's grave. So a man called Bodeni sent 60 men to guard this my compound. And
Wow.
that if Awolowo came to Ogbomoso, they would slaughter him.
Politics.
Another man who supported me in the election for security and sabotage was, you will see that Bolagi's what do you call it? Primaries was done 3 times. We printed their cards, we joined their group, we voted in their primaries in order to make him win.
Wow.
One was by Odinamadu, Mrs. Odinamadu. One was at Liberty Stadium. We made sure that Omishade didn't. We won. We made Obolagi win all the things so that he gave me security men. I had no doors there, no garden, no wall at the back, no wall at the side. And he sent 6 Ikemba boys at one stage. At one stage, Yoruba speaking Ikemba boys. So we made him win, which made some people lose the election, lose the primaries. So we lured what do you call him? We lured the minister from Ire.
Sunday Afolabi. Yes.
We lured the Robodo man. We lured him to Adilakun. Because at a meeting which they held, he was called a thug by Reverend. Actually, the man who Bolagi got to be the gubernatorial candidate by being selected by Adilakun. So Awolowo climbed down and said, then he said they would rather prefer the man who didn't contest at all. Their primary was at Okeho. The genuine primary was at Okeho. It was not at Ibadan. They did one at Mako. They did one at Liberty Stadium. They did one at Premier Hotel.
How come they didn't know they had been infiltrated?
I don't think they knew they had been infiltrated. I was in charge of that infiltration.
That was your strategy.
That was my strategy. You know, I had been. You will see a photograph here. I had been in Israel twice. I know the methods of the Israeli security, and I worked with them. The Mossad, and I worked with them in Water Corporation and Solebone.
Solebone. They built the Ife Ondo Road.
Yes, under Adebayo. Yes. So I knew their methods, and I had visited on account of my activities. They gave this state. I just showed it to the governor some weeks ago. The governor of this state now, the present governor. Yes, that I was the one who earned the name pace setter, given by Ben Yacob.
So they were the ones who changed to RCC.
Yes.
Were they the ones?
RCC.
Yeah, Obasijo Ade was part of that. Obasijo Ade was
part of that.
Yes.
That's your name, Shijo Ade.
Shijo Ade, yes.
Not Aderemi.
Yeah, I know. Yes. Adekunbi Petu.
Ọmọ Ṣekọ́lá.
Atobatele.
Ọmọ Baba Glass House.
Baba Glass House. Niremo. So we thank God.
Mo ní bẹ́tà ẹ lè mọ̀ pé ọba ló kọ.
Handwritten. Wow.
So gbogbo kìíní yẹn I monitor wọn to the last. Àwọn ibì kan wà tí wọn ò lè dé. And you know, a man in Modakeke, there was a sad story of
Alawode.
Alawode.
Oh, Odelola, the one they killed. 007.
Odelola was the one they killed. That day,
Obedience.
Bola and Chuinka nearly got themselves killed. The death of Odelola.
Odelola.
It was very gruesome because 7 people were locked in a box and burned to ashes. The thing was very serious, and everybody had to, as we say, be very, very careful. The election, they concentrated on when it came to the election itself. There were some places where we were extremely powerful. You remember Agbola of Shekpeteri? Shekpeteri is about 98%. Àwọn Gani Abijimobi, what do you call him? Additional Lamb. They didn't go to any polling station. They didn't monitor anything. They wanted me to win. That's why we supported them and their children. And when they came. So the thing was, Ibadan, they stole Ibadan votes at one stage. Ọmọ Ibadan kankan ò kájú wọn. Mo ní ìwọ Lamb ṣé ò kájú wọn? I took a photograph of Lamb, which he still keeps in his house now. So all this area to Isemile, Okeogun, Ogbomoso, they had never seen any crowd in Ogbomoso like that. They could not enter Ogbomoso. They could not enter, what do you call it? What do you call it?
Okay, Ogun side.
The Okeogun side. I changed the Oshogbo. We were nearly balanced. Ede and Oshogbo. Ede and Oshogbo. We are nearly balanced. The Ilesha, there was a lot of, yes. What do you call it? Udrotin was secretary to the party and secretary to the government. Shuaibu Edokun was the.
I remember him.
Yes, you remember him. He became deputy national chairman of the party, of the PDP. You remember?
He's been around for long.
He's been around for long, and then he married one of the Ademiluis. He married one of the Ademiluis. Yes, then also, who are these people? Agbola was chairman of UCH. He was from Secretary. Then people like what do you call him? What do you call this man? Adesho. They were abusing people all the time. And when we got to Gbosi rally, a maximum rally, and then they concentrated on forging figures. When Akinjide represented us at the tribunal, Akinjide found 15 different kinds of ballot papers. result sheets. Those which were not signed, those which were signed but were by the wrong electoral officers, those which were signed by electoral, various 15 types. Then it started to engage. They use the papers that they printed at the government printer. If you look at any newspaper at all, you will find that if you look at the newspaper, you will find a line at the top of this one, another line here. We made the government printer print beyond where it should go and short of where it should be. We made amendments that it should print them. We asked them to show a government approved paper, and then the one result is to show us. So therefore, many of those papers were rejected. So they did all sorts of things as they were. So I told Justice Babalaki, I said PDP, MP, UPN, and what was the third one, the Azikwe one? I said they all had their plans and their rigging plans, and here are their 3 rigging plans. I showed them at Ilorin. So I showed them, and they were all exposed. They were begging me not to. Some of it, I said, you can't beg me. If you are going to print fake papers, the first person you must print for is Awolowo. He's not printed anything for him. And then, but they had a powerful propaganda machine, and that's what they relied upon. And we showed them that we were master of espionage.
But they also allege that you rigged massively. Was there any truth? Or no, you are not able to admit it publicly?
No, we never rigged any more than, there are.
Or it was a case of a super rigger defeating a rigger?
No, the thing is that we never.
Okay, let me put it another way, Daddy. Is there any way to conduct election in Nigeria without rigging? Maybe I should be more practical.
No, the thing is this. Look, some of I don't know why they don't bring out the result of election petitions where rigging has been assumed. I don't know why they think a man who is not popular in his own hometown, somebody comes from Ilesha, he can't contest election in Ilesha or okay. He can't contest election and win, and then they expect him to contest another place. So
I have a theory that it is always easier for you to rig in your area of influence. I think that's what in your kitty, you had the Badon, you had the Okyogun. So it didn't add up again. And then you had almost half of Ilefe. You had Ife to UPN and you had Bodakeke to yourself. So I think that's what. So it's possible for you to inflate in those areas.
I can assist your theory. I installed the Alaafin for you.
Yes, sir.
I installed the Alaafin for you.
Yes, sir.
I installed the Alaafin for you. You can add that to your theory.
Oh, so we should add Oyo to it. Okay, I get the message. You were well grounded. You were well prepared.
We were more than well prepared for him. In Ibadan here, all the boxes were changed from the polling center to the where they count. The result is that Are was defeated at Okeare. Are was defeated at Okeare. All they did at that time was to change the ballot boxes. You know, we told.
No, when you say change the ballot boxes,
yes.
Who changed it?
The what do you call it? Steelworks run by Alakija made the ballot boxes in 79. And they had on the ballot boxes a red dot on some of the boxes. So when it came to 83, we asked the Ekweme to put his foot down that they must not give the ballot boxes contract to the same people who did it in 9. They must not give. It's the first set of people who did the ballot boxes. It's right from the ballot box.
So they didn't have access. UPN didn't have. You controlled the INEC at that time.
No, this one didn't involve INEC.
It had nothing to do with INEC.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with INEC. Do it yourself. As you know, drink and wine, drink the youngest available.
And you see, the theory is very valid because my boss at Ondo State, Chief Akemo Buriowo, could not get away with his own result. You got away with yours because you had more forces around your state. That's so it confirms that theory that even if you are going to rig, you must be very strong in your own area of influence.
But we read things like that we read things like that. We read the theory and practice of UPN's plans.
So they planned their own rigging, you and the other side also planned.
No, we planned against them. When they had an office at EMS which they never used. And they planned in vacuum. There's a senatorial district which connects Ogbomoso with Odeomu. You remember Odeomu? And Ogbomoso were in the same senatorial district.
In the old Oyo, yes.
In the old Oyo, not the new Oyo.
Not the new one, yes.
Oyo. So they thought they were clever. There was a lot of gerrymandering. But anything they were able to do, we were able to do better.
Wow.
So when I said to Mr. Justice Babalaki, I said, none of the parties is innocent.
One is just more.
None of the parties is totally innocent. These people have said for themselves they are not likely to win. So don't listen to them any further. if they lose.
So do you think the same still holds true for today? That it's still the same system, it hasn't changed?
The system of today is worse. In the far north, you find people from other countries. People from other
Niger,
countries.
Chad, yeah.
Niger, Chad. And the brooms of the ruling party. They actually, they actually take part in the election. It's worse. It's worse these days.
So does that then not tell us that we're not ready for democracy? That maybe there should be another form of government, maybe monarchy, maybe dictatorship, whatever it is? Because if since the time of independence till today, we're not able to have a free and fair election, except maybe during the 1993, until today, everything is military-styled democracy. What would you recommend as the solution?
I do not think we are anywhere near democracy.
That's the only two.
There are two problems we have. The question of voting democratically, the question of fraud and theft of violence.
I'm not okay. I'm hearing you now.
Of violence. We have the problem of that problem of violence is with us. Sometimes they are better armed than our own policemen. Am I wrong?
Yes, they are. They have the links.
They are across West Africa. But in Nigeria, we have a theoretically suitable president who is not practically effective. Theoretically, in terms of experience, Buhari is the man who has governor of Borno State. He has been Minister of Petroleum. He knows the way they steal money from
NNPC.
And his associates. He has been in charge of that. And he has been the governor, absolute governor of Borno State.
Borno State.
So you can't ask for more qualification. But something else seems to creep into his government, which is very terrifying. That is the question of ethnicity.
It's major.
It's a major problem. It seems to be extraordinary. So we are back where we started, the colonials. And I think the colonials did install for us a system that was bound to fail. books we read before 1940. I started school in 1938.
Wow.
So, and Fulani,
So,
the Fulani
sir,
never,
my worry, sir, is that there must be a system of government that is tailor-made for us and suitable for our peculiarities. Because we keep talking about the problems of Nigeria, we keep doing election after election, never give up power. We came back to democracy, so to say, in 1999. The man who took power was a retired military general. Then the next one, Yaradua, then the person who took over, Buhari, is a retired military general. So where is the democracy, and who can compete when the security apparatus, the INEC, and so on and so forth are with the same group of people? How do we? So, and now there is so much agitation everywhere. Some people want Biafra, some people want to do one nation out of frustration. I'm sure they would have preferred a bigger Nigeria, but everybody seems to be frustrated and nobody seems to care.
I am afraid everything you have said, I agree with you 100%. And that frightens me. Everything you said, I agree 100%. It has been put together by the British. We will survive. I think the pastiche is just carelessly gummed together up to maybe 241 tribes. And I don't see, it's like how we are talking now is like Yugoslavia under Tito. It's like Yugoslavia under. It looks the what we have been talking about, the probability that the country will break up is higher than the probability that we stay together.
That's so sad.
It is sad. It is sad because Gawan was not a majority. He was not a member of. What do you call him? Balewa was not. Balewa I once sent a letter to Balewa to deliver to Balewa. And his office. He used to call me Dr. Oluloyo. He said, Dr. Oluloyo, you are welcome. I've heard very much about you in various fields. This is my office. Let me take you around. You may be the next occupant of this office. So I said, why didn't you, sir? You he says, here is my slippers. I wear it for convenience and comfort. Here is my transistor radio. It's very powerful. You can get Moscow, you can get anywhere. This is for files. This is for if I need access, I can always ask for what can be poisoned like that way. He said, but I will take you to that place. And he took me to, and what was in the corner? It was a map of Nigeria. He said, that is the map of Nigeria. Nigeria, Dr. Lule, my country, Why do I say so? I want to tell you, I'm not in the police. I was told that, and it was to be disciplined. But I got a delegation. The delegation was overwhelming. Instead of Pao Ugochukwu, Sir Francis Ibiam, I should not punish this man until that also that they have investigated the matter and the thief in simple. And what happens is that I should catch before I discipline him, find an Igbo and I should find a Yoruba. He says, you see now, I caught an Igbo thief was caught, but I have to catch thieves in threes. Unless I catch thieves in threes, I cannot discipline one.
You must catch them. There is a quota system even for stealing.
Yeah, for stealing, I must catch 3 Yorubas before I can deal with anyone. He says no country can be run like that. But I'm trying my best.
When you quotalize corruption and stealing.
So that is the. But I think when one goes back to read those elementary books of the formation of Nigeria, Lugard, Shaw, and everything, very many things have been done. Do you know that the Kainji Dam was deliberately wrongly placed?
Deliberately?
Yes.
Kainji Dam?
Because, yes, the Kainji Dam. It was put in a place where the overflow will destroy the land of opposition members. The Motor Columbus report on NEPA, I have the 5 copies. They are as big as this. The natural intelligent place to put a dam is where the Benue is after the Benue has joined the Niger. Benue is a very fast river coming Ugandere mountains and it has a sharp slope. Niger is a broad, slow river which is going to peter out at the delta. So it's after the 2 of them have joined, we should have the dam. But they went to office. You know, it's on top of that hill. Have you been there before?
No, I haven't been there, but I read about.
It is the most beautiful place in the country and the most expensive piece of land. Where the Niger and the Benue meet and they flow. Is the Benue that is responsible for the energy after that. So all these things, you know their distribution station is at Oshogbo. And you know, all the things are in the wrong places.
And that's why we will not have electricity.
You cannot have steady. The electricity is also wrong. Is wrongly divided. The electricity, you have a wastage of electricity. The wastage comes about like this. An area which does not need it. A cement factory Sokoto gets so much. Some place near Shiroro gets so much. And you can't store electricity in the form technology is now. You can't store electricity like a battery and then just decide to use it. So almost everything is wrong. The railways are sabotaged by people who have a fleet of lorries. And the people who have a fleet of lorries, like you remember when there was a change of money, 57, how many suitcases?
53
Remember,
suitcases.
53
I remember. Yes.
50 suitcases. There are also the people who own the lorries. You can't get to Abuja unless you first go to Kaduna by air. Kaduna by air to what do you call it? Kaduna by air to Abuja by train, is it?
I still believe something, sir. I still believe something that one of the biggest problems we have is the fact that we didn't go through a revolution like Ghana. Ghana had a military that had a master plan. We had the military that came to play politics.
Well, you want a Rollins?
Not that I want a Rollins. I am saying that I believe that is what helped Ghana a bit. I mean, Rollins came. He didn't bother about politics initially. He didn't bother about promoting himself to general. He was a flight lieutenant throughout. He still is in retirement. But he had a master plan that, look, for my country to progress, we must work on infrastructure. We must work on all those things. And he did it. And, you know.
But also, Nkrumah was on that line.
Yeah, I mean, it was a shame that they removed Nkrumah. That was my favorite. Yes.
Yes. They ought not to have removed Nkrumah.
That was the.
And Nkrumah is good enough, except for the Preventive Detention Act, which you remember the Preventive Detention Act? The people who moved it, they ended up in Nsawam prison. Prison. Akwa J. You remember?
Wow, you know so much about Ghana, Daddy. The history of Ghana is what you are teaching us now.
But I had more than one interest in Ghana.
What was the other interest? I hope that I don't have a sister or brother waiting in Ghana.
Red wine. And if you see anybody with a curved nose, I don't bless in one way, special way. When you look at Ghana, Obuasi, where you have the cocoa, is also where you have the gold. Where you have the cocoa is the same place where you have the gold. And you see that triangle of rail, how the British constructed the railways to Kumasi. The northern region, they sort of left. That place where Nkrumah was nearly killed with a bomb. Kulungu. And Volta the Volta project is a fantastic one. And the road, the motorway, is a sample.
Yeah, Tema.
For
Tema. They've even expanded it now. They've expanded the ports. They've done everything.
Yes.
So,
The hospital, Kolebu, Legon,
Kolebu, yeah.
the
Hospital complex. Now they have, it's incredible. The only part is when you enter Semeboda to go to Badagry, Nigeria. That's the only. Now you can drive to Ghana and you won't worry too much. But our own roads, I don't know.
There was a danger at Aflao. The danger. You remember? If you remember, the road immediately after Aflao, which is the same as Lome, the sea had eaten up Ho.
Yes.
The sea.
Yes.
Ho. That was the hometown of the other devils. The sea ate off a substantial part of the land. But Ghana is at every stage, Ghana seems to be ahead of us.
It's incredible.
Right
It's incredible.
But you not that he went to Bristol, Abi. He was in Bristol.
Well, I think he died when I was just about 9. The first time I heard your name was his funeral. That was the first time I heard everybody was talking about this genius called OLUNLOYO who came to Gbogan, and it was the talk of the town.
Mm-hmm.
And I never forgot, as young as I was, I never forgot that name. It's impossible not to know OLUNLOYO. It's impossible unless the person is a near illiterate.
It was a mechanical engineering I first did. I did civil and mechanical joined together, and then mathematics, then engineering honors. You do two, and you have to do. I did mechanical and civil, and came first both. Can do mechanical and electrical. Then I was shifted wholesale to mathematics in the Faculty of Science.
Wow. So how come that in your generation, sir?
He went to Bristol.
I didn't know much about him. I was too young.
He went to Bristol where I got it first.
Wow.
Bristol.
And then he died in an accident. That was so unfortunate.
His friend is my brother-in-law.
Apankpa, I remember. And he was married to Chief Akideko's daughter.
She Akineva.
Very sir. His sons are in the US now. They are in the US. My cousins, they are in the US. I've never seen, as young as we were, everybody felt the tremor of his accident. Everybody felt it.
It was too much for anybody for any of us to the last discussion I had with him, I've just found a book that addresses it. Schrodinger. What is life? Because you say there's life in plants, there's life in animals. What is it that comes to be called life in a plant? Living plant. And then so the last discussion we had. An answer from Schrodinger, one of the authors of quantum mechanics. Because when they taught us in school, they taught us many things that were above our heads, like photosynthesis, They taught us all these things. But later on, we grew to understand. Mr. Fatwe, what is he doing with his knowledge of electronics now?
He's retired long ago. He's over 80 now. He and my mom are the same. They were the same dad with my mom. Because the fact that they retired didn't mean, you won't believe it. He became consultants to private companies. The Indians will come, they will call him. They respected his brain, but the country itself, no, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. So, but we thank God for his life. And we've crossed 5 hours. You've done an incredible thing. I said my record was 3.5 hours. Now we've crossed 5 hours today. And I think I should let you rest. I'm sure your children are very happy. They are all very proud. I must thank Ura. Ura is my baby. Yesterday, as soon as we spoke, she was running helter-skelter to same thing with Benga, same thing with Ayobami. Everybody that I spoke to, they were sending me very rare pictures, sending me things from everywhere, and I want to thank them. Then I understand there is a young man, Tijani, who we even wanted to use his Instagram account, but we're happy that we were able to set up one for you. So now we should be able to, preserve your pictures, on that platform. I want to thank you, Daddy. I pray that we will have another opportunity to continue the conversation, but I think 5 hours. If we were traveling to England, by now we should be getting close to Heathrow Airport since we started this interview. So I must thank you about ONITONLU, Lágbára Ọlọ́run. I told Wura yesterday, I said, I wish your dad's brain could be cloned. There should be a way they can clone this brain. You shouldn't take it to heaven. It has to be cloned and kept. If we have to keep in a freezer, so anytime we need you, we'll go and we'll bring it out. So I must thank you, Daddy. And I don't know if you have any closing remarks you want to make, Daddy. Then we'll play an obey song for you. The internet. We even thank the internet for allowing us to do so much. Yes, Daddy, I said, I don't know if you have closing words, sir.
No, nothing. Thank you.
Nothing.
Because I said nothing but to thank you, because
thank you, Daddy.
One is wasted or not used, and they don't remember one. Thank you.
Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay. Ẹyẹ tó bá fara wégún, ẹ̀yìn àrò ni ó sùn.
The last, yeah.
Ẹyẹ tó bá fara wégún, ẹ̀yìn àrò ni ó sùn.
pé kò sí. Àwa náà kọ̀ ọ́, Olúwa bá máa